Now you'll notice in our work this week we have something called the Ecosystems App Creation portion in Google Sheets. And as we are working in these Google Sheets, I just want to run through this because I know even though I show it during class, people are going to have questions about this. So this is going to be a tutorial that you can refer back to every time you need to do a portion of this. And I know that we probably haven't worked in Google Sheets, but as you can see here, you have your columns and you have your rows. And I already have some of these labeled for you. You do not want to delete this because this is the guide that you're going to need as you're creating this, because we're going to take this Google Sheet and turn it into an app that will work on your computer, it will work on your phone, it'll work on your parents' phone. And it's going to be a lot of fun to create this. At the end, it could end up being like a very, very good study guide for you as we move on into the end portions of our biomes unit. Now, obviously, we have here biome name and description. We have short review, an image, a video, and a Google Doc link. And we're going to describe all those because I'm going to run through what we did today. For example, today we studied oceans. Okay? Short, biome name, oceans. Short review. Now listen, I don't want to type in this box every time because eventually I'm going to start running out of space. And it's going to seem like it's bleeding all over to here, but I can always type up here in this box and I can kind of keep my eye on what I'm typing a little bit better. Now, oceans. We need a very short condensed review because this is going to be like a very brief description. Over here, when you do your Google Doc later, that's where you're going to have a more extensive description. You couldn't fit everything in here that you need to review about oceans or tundras or savannas. It's not going to work. You're going to have a Google Doc link later. So for a short review, now if we talk about what type of biome, okay, we're going to split that into two. Is it terrestrial or aquatic? And so we know it's aquatic. And I've spelled that wrong again. I do that every time. I don't know if my A is sticking or what. Aquatic. Now we also know that what type of water? Salt water. And I spelled another word wrong. My goodness gracious. Salt water. So it's aquatic biome. It's got salt water. I really don't need a lot more than that. Just a very, very, very short review. Now I'm going to show you why I like this box up here. It looks like this has bled over into this box, and it has. By the looks of it, but it really hasn't. It's all of that's really in this box. Because you can see once I start typing in here, that's still over here. But that's why I like typing up here. Now, image searching. This is the toughest part of this project here, is image searching. So we're going to open up in Google, and obviously we're looking up oceans. We're going to just type in oceans, and we want to go to images. You can't just grab images from here because some of these have copyright issues with them. You want to go to tools, you want to go to usage rights, and they've really changed this. They've really broken it down now into two. Commercial and other licenses means you kind of have to pay for that photo if you really want to use it. Honestly, we're going to use something called Creative Commons license, which means we're allowed to use this as long as we don't go out and like make a business and use this. We are okay. And in school, we're going to be fine. So under the Creative Commons, and you're going to notice, wow, all of a sudden some of my really cool pictures disappeared because people get paid to take photos. Photographers take great photos, and they like to sell them, and I don't blame them for that. That's their job. Now we're going to look down through here. We're going to find a picture of oceans that we happen to like. So as I keep scrolling down, and until I find something about oceans that I like, that one's actually not too bad. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to go with this one. Although I don't know, I better not do Pixabay because I know that's not going to work. That had issues last year. Let's go here. Okay. Now, normally we're used to like right-clicking and saving it or copying it. I actually need to go to the website. Go to the website. Now, I'm going to not look at all that. I don't know what all that is. There we go. I'm going to write, maybe, my goodness gracious, ads galore. Don't go to this website. This is horrible. Here we go. Right-click. I want to copy the image address. What's going to happen with our app is it's going to take the picture from the address. So we copy the image address. So I right-click it, copy the image address. I come back to here. And here is where I'm going to put my image address. Here's something very important. You want your image to end in JPG. So I'm going to actually delete this, and I'm going to pause this for just a moment. Unpause it. What I saw something I really thought the first picture I did would actually show you this issue, but it didn't. So I found another picture, and I'm going to paste the image address in here. You'll notice that there are things after the JPG. I need to delete anything, and sometimes, kids, it is a long stream. I only want my image to end in JPG. So I'm going to go back. I actually do not like this picture. I'm going to scroll down and try to find another one really quickly. That's a great picture of ocean. So I'm going to go to the website, right-click, save the image. No, copy the image address. Do not save anything. Come back here. I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to paste. And does it end in JPG is the big thing we need to look for. And I will help you out with that in class, obviously. So if you get stuck on this, my Thursday, Friday people, then you can hold off and we'll work on this together in class. But it ends in JPG, so I'm good. Now look, this stretches all the way across here, and it's very weird looking, isn't it? You're like, oh, I've messed up. You have not. I promise you it's just in this box. Because as soon as I go to video, it looks like I'm not, but if I put my video link in here, I promise you it's going to work. It looks very weird. It takes a few minutes to get used to, but once you start rolling, you're fine. Now, video is exactly what you think it is. You go to YouTube, and so you search up oceans, documentary. I'm going to look up for kids because, well, this is for kids. Oceans of the World for Kids. I happen to know that this is a very good video, but I'm going to keep looking here. Coral Reef is pushing it, though, because that's something else. Oceans, right? I'm going to take this. I'm going to open it up, and listen, all you do is you hit the share button, and you copy the link, or you can copy it from up here. Either way is fine. I come back into my ecosystem. Now, this is where you got to really get used to this box up here. So this is obviously the biome name. This is a short review. This is image. Here's video. Now, it looks weird. Like, I can't type there, Mr. Bullens. Type it up here. Copy and paste your link. Okay? Done. Now you can see that the YouTube video is in there. You can see that this thing still stretches everywhere. Now it says Google Doc link. This is where you are going to open up a brand new Google Doc. Okay, I don't care if you open it up a little differently than I just did. If you come up here and you click in Google Docs and you start a new one, that's fantastic. Okay, now what are we typing about this time? Well, we're talking about oceans. Okay, and so when I go in here and I start to talk about oceans, remember, here are the things that I really want to focus on. I want to focus on those 4 abiotic factors: sun, soil, temperature, and water. I need to talk about those 4 things in an ocean. Okay, now we mentioned this in the notes. Okay, and I'm going to quickly come over here, and I'm going to say the most important abiotic factor in an ocean. This is not, I think this is my opinion, but you may disagree, is the water. Ocean water is, and we remember this from class today, salt water. I spelled it wrong again. That's what I get for typing fast and with a microphone in my hand. Ocean water is salt water. Oops. Nope. What's it trying to do? Trying to hyphenate salt water? Maybe not. It wants me to put together. And that means, my goodness gracious, don't type with one hand. It's not good. That it has, but I'm trying to type and have a microphone, so it's not working out too. Salt in it. Okay, good. The most important abiotic factor in an ocean is the water. Ocean water is salt water, so I've talked about the water. Sunlight in an ocean varies. Now, what does this word varies mean? Why do I keep using it? Because it means to change. So, or it changes. And that is depending on the season or the location. For example, at the equator, the sun is intense, so location matters. In the Arctic, the sun is not intense. Okay, now we need to talk about seasons. I know I spelled that correctly, didn't I? Oh, let me put a comma there. All right, so I've talked about water and sun. So now I've got soil and temperature. Temperature varies too. In the summer, the ocean temps, ocean temperature in North Carolina is higher than in the winter. I see that I missed a letter there. Okay, so now I've talked about sun, I've talked about temperature, I've talked about water, and now we need to talk about the soil. The soil is very sandy. Okay, so we've talked about the abiotic factors. Now, biotic factors must adapt to live in the ocean. That means they need to be able to live in salt water. I did it again. My goodness gracious. It's like me spelling ecosystems and leaving out the S like last week. So you understand what I'm saying by typing about the, you really only need like 1 to 2 paragraphs. Now, what could I do next? Okay. Some examples of ocean biotic factors are, and I have an entire page that I left for you. You have websites. You are welcome to put your favorite ones in there. And you can tell me how they live in the ocean, the different parts of the ocean. There are some things that live in North Carolina that don't live in the Arctic. There are some things like narwhals that live in the cooler waters that don't live in the oceans of near North Carolina. Feel free to extend this out into your own personal thing about oceans. Now, it's time to share this. This is the other second toughest part. Again, I will help you in class if you get stuck. Share it. Okay? Now, here's the thing. I want to come down here and change the link to viewer, and I want to change it from Davidson County Schools to anyone with the link. Okay, so I came in here. Anyone with the link is a viewer. Do not make them an editor. Do not make them a commenter. You just want them to view it and hit copy the link and hit done. Come back into here. Guess where that goes? Here, but we type it up here in this box, Control V. We've talked about that. And this is it. And I know it, you're like, how in the world is this going to turn into an app, Mr. Bullens? I promise you. Okay? For my A day, B day people, you're going to be golden. You're in class with me. For my A day people, for my B day people, don't get super discouraged. If you can't figure out how to upload an image, if you can't figure out how to upload the Google Doc, wait, but don't wait to type all this out. Type all of this out and have it ready. Title it Oceans, and then I will help you get that into the Google Sheet when you come Thursday and Friday. We're not going to be publishing this to our app thing for a while. We'll probably be a week or 2 at least before we even start worrying about that. Just try your best. I know this is difficult, but I really am trying to teach you guys some things that are extremely fun, but also going to help you learn a lot. So if you have questions, come back and refer to this. If you still don't get it, send me an email, but know that I can't answer in the middle of the day. And understand that I will always have you in class at least 2 days a week. Hope this video made sense. I know it's fairly short, even though it's 15 minutes long to describe everything you have to do on here. And just reach out if you need any help.